Chelsea losing at home to Arsenal by 1-0. Could that be good news for Liverpool? Liverpool 2 games in hand, of course. If they win both of those, they'll just be 1 point adrift of Thomas Tuchel's side with 2 matches to go regarding that Champions League push. Right, where do we start? Craig?
Start with us two.
You're not in the mood?
I was watching Arteta doing an interview earlier when you were recording some stuff. It was behind you in the big screen. He was baffling onto the UK broadcast, and I thought, I couldn't hear it, but I can only imagine the sort of waffle that was coming out about how they were turning a corner here and all this. But look, it was a good win. Defended okay, got lucky with the goal with a mistake from Jorginho. Chelsea have shot themselves in the foot here because they've put themselves under more pressure because Liverpool have now 2 games in hand, one of which is Man United. But Chelsea, I think they could still have been out there now and wouldn't have scored.
Yeah.
So
how much of a concern? We've talked about this before. Obviously, first leg against Real Madrid in the Champions League. It's been a theme, hasn't it, for Chelsea under Tuchel over the last couple of months that they haven't been converting their chances.
Yeah, and I think that's something they'll look to address in the transfer window if the budget allows it. But he made some changes with the FA Cup final in mind. There's no doubt about that. They dominated the game. They were around the Arsenal penalty area a lot. Giroud hit the bar at the end after a Leno save from a Zuma header. Pulisic got himself a goal, but he was offside. It was just one of those nights for them. They were not great, and Arsenal did what they had to do, and they've made life more difficult for Chelsea in terms of their top 4. In terms of the whole story around the game, oh my God. Horrible.
Right, let's not go to Craig for a while. Frank, is this a big deal?
It is a big deal because it would have been the opportunity to almost settle down, their seat in the first 4 and in the Champions League this season. Now they can see that Liverpool is behind. If they win tomorrow against Manchester United and win the other game, they're going to be just 1 point behind Chelsea. So of course it's a big deal. But you're allowed to have a day off. Let's say a bad day, mostly. I think the first half was quite okay. They had some chances. They made one big mistake, but Kai Havertz had a very big opportunity just before the Arsenal goal. But after the second half was really appalling. And as Craig said, they could have played like 2 hours. They would have never scored. They lost something, but they have that cup final within some days. So it's maybe understandable, and you cannot be perfect. So you have the right to be down one day, but you really have to react very quickly.
Jules, we heard Craig saying this really could be a turning point for Arsenal under Arteta.
I'm not sure it could be a turning point, but it's a good win. It's a win that you take, even if you spent a lot of the time defending and you defended well and you were well organised and it was not pretty with the ball because there was not much you could do with it, and you got obviously very lucky with the goal you scored. Those games matter in the terms of confidence and momentum, not just for the end of the season because there's only 2 games to go for them, but also for Arteta, for the younger players, especially Smith Rowe, who scored the goal, who had a really good game, and then going into next season, maybe going back to a back 5 helped them, and this is where last season they maybe had some of the best performances, but certainly in the character they showed, I think it was important for them to get those 3 points.
Right. There's nothing that can help them, Jules, apart from new signings. Trust me. There's not. Do you know the only thing I noted with this game? That Kieran Tierney was fit again.
Right.
And that's a surprise, and that's good news for Scotland. I sound like an American now, don't I? Worried about Pulisic and all these players. I've said I'd never do that. Kick me under the table.
Right.
Kick me under the table. Listen, where do you want to go? Arsenal, it tells you nothing. They need new signings.
Okay, all right, well, let's talk about the
Kieran Tierney's going to be fit for the Euros. It's good news.
Tierney. Right, OK, let's take a look at the top 4 and the odds then. Leicester City, of course, with that big win against United yesterday, puts them in a nice spot. Chelsea still 6-1 on. Liverpool 15-8. As I mentioned, they do have 2 extra games to play. Of course, they're going to close the gap against Chelsea. One of them is on Thursday at Old Trafford against Manchester United and away against West Brom, and of course already down. Burnley and Crystal Palace wrap things up. Is it done, Craig? Like, are we clutching at straws?
No, I don't think so. I really don't. And I know, where's Mr. Negativity, Nico the Day?
What do you mean?
I mean, he's like, I've never seen.
There's a pot kettle.
Yeah, I know. I shouldn't be saying that, basically. you know, Liverpool can't string results together. I get that, but how's about one last push at the end of the season?
Yep.
If they beat Man United, and that's a big if, because they're going to bring players back.
Yes.
West Brom, Burnley and Palace. I mean, that I think it's a chance, right? Now, you look at Leicester could take something. I mean, they could trip over each other, Chelsea and Leicester.
I know, exactly.
I think Leicester are okay now. I think Chelsea...
Right.
I probably think Chelsea are now the team that's most vulnerable.
Okay.
So they're going to have to beat Leicester at home, that's what I'd say. But if I'm Liverpool, the dreaded Europa League, sod that. That's my inspiration. I'm pinning it on the board. We do not want to play in this competition.
Yes.
So let's get out there. Let's roll over Man United.
Yeah.
Right? Let's finish the season strongly. It's been a bit of a disaster for various reasons. But if we roll this Man United team over, then we can win the last 3 games after that. And that's going to give us a chance. And they can do no more than that. So I don't think it's dead in the water just yet.
How motivated are you if you're United going into that game on Thursday?
Oh, yeah, very. I'm motivated because I can kill Liverpool's Champions League.
Do players care about that? Fans we know do, but how much does that play on players' minds really?
Well, you just want to win the game.
Right.
But whether they're thinking about it, I'd imagine they are, you know, because they're not winning a great deal else at the moment, Man United. So they've got to have something to feed on. Have I said something?
They're in the final of the Europa League.
And Jose Mourinho had them in the final of the Europa League. And won the EFL Cup. And got 81 points. And won the Community Shield.
A Community Shield. Oh, my God. Frank, it is interesting, isn't it? Like, in a sense, as Craig says, if you're Klopp, it's easy. We don't want to play in the Europa League. We want to be trying to push this. From a Manchester United player's perspective, there is a huge rivalry, we know, between United and Liverpool. But does that actually transmit itself into the locker room?
You just asked me that.
Well, I'm asking Frank it. Just because your opinion is like that doesn't mean that Frank's might be different.
Go on, Frank.
Yes, of course it does matter because players also listen to what the fans feel, and they want to please their fans. And it's why I even wondered, you know, if Manchester United didn't lose on purpose against Leicester the other day, you know, to make sure Liverpool will. But I have a question.
Oh, no.
Don't you think that if Manchester wins against Liverpool, that Leicester and Chelsea will have a draw during the weekend? They win the game
you're away back to the 1982 World Cup.
Yeah.
There was a bit of a shenanigans went on.
They
call it the biscotti, don't they, in Italy?
What's that?
The biscuit.
Yeah. What?
Yeah, we call it the gentleman agreement. We call it the gentleman agreement.
There you are.
No signing, no contract, but
I think it's a big effort for Liverpool.
It happens in Italy.
To roll over Man United, because clearly without those key players that Liverpool have missed this season, and Man United have looked stronger without Van Dijk and all them.
Where are you going with this?
I'm going with it. I think it's going to be a big task for Liverpool to get over that hurdle the way they have played.
So what's your prediction?
Draw.
A draw. Frank?
Manchester United is going to win.
Julien Laurent?
I agree. I think United will win, and I think the top 4 will stay as it is.
Well, there you
go.
There we go. Good.
Gab told you to say that.
Manchester United winning tomorrow means that Craig won't be on, but be sure to join us.
Why do you want to go and talk about second raters?
Reflecting on what happens at Old Trafford.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN+.